Well, here we are. What is it? March 29th. This month has flown by. It's 8 o'clock on the dot, which is really good. I like to put that little thing out so it gets everybody going. I've got everybody backstage, so let me just try to get everybody popped on here. Let's start with Jimmy. What's going on, my friend?
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
What's up? We got Joe.
What's up,
What's
Joe?
up, everybody? What's going on, guys?
No, I like the beard, man. It's looking tight, bro. It's looking tight. And B-Rat, what's up?
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing?
What's going
Real
on?
good. I just launched a little bit, so we set that little thing out, so it's kind of a delay, so we kind of can get on before people start coming in or whatever. And a lot of people ask me. I actually got two people. Actually, I shouldn't say a lot about one question. They said, "What did that mean?" This one's for you, Joe. Well, growing up, Joe liked the song by Motley Crue called "Dr. Feelgood," so I threw that whole old hospital scene in there, and I put the Motley Crue song on the Motley Croc page for Joe because he was the song "Dr. Feelgood." He's a fan of that song, so that's why I did that.
Absolutely.
So if they watch, I'll answer that. I never responded, but yeah, I guess I agitate a little bit with that stuff. So whatever, it is what it is.
Welcome.
I mean, they get mad, but it is what it is. It draws it in. We got like a little bit of slow, and I'm looking at my YouTube viewers. I got 6 of you here on YouTube, and I only see 2 of you here from the Motley Croc page. So we'll see what's going on with that. So I'm not going to take off. So anyways, Joe, talk a little bit about how your week went, buddy, up there in New York, the weather, your nephew, etc.
It's fucking cold as shit up here, bro.
Oh my God, I was sweating balls.
No, man, it's fucking freezing. Well, I had the worst flight in the world coming here. Like, the flight attendants weren't even allowed to leave their seats because there was so much fucking turbulence.
Oh, my God. Troy would have died.
Never fly.
Bro,
That would have been it.
Bro, I was actually thinking of you while the plane was all over the sky because I'm like, if Troy was on this plane, he'd be shitting bricks right now.
No,
That's
I
how bad
died.
it was.
Would have been beyond that. I would have died. I hate turbulence, man. Why did you get so much turbulence? What was the problem? You don't get that a lot, do you?
Well, what happened was we had a storm in Tampa, and apparently it was going all the way up north. So, like, the whole flight from Tampa to New York was nothing but, like, thunder, lightning, wind, rain. And, dude, when I tell you the fucking plane was all over the place, it was all over the place. I mean, we were banging around everywhere.
Nope.
How long was it? Like the whole flight?
The whole flight, yeah. Like, the TVs weren't working. They weren't serving drinks or anything like that. Fucking, you weren't allowed to get to go to the bathroom. Nothing.
So you were just like this whole time?
Yeah, basically.
No.
And that flight, how long's that flight? That flight from
Like-
Tampa to there is,
About 2 hours, 10 minutes.
oh, my God. That's still a long, that's a long 2 hours.
Yeah. To be sitting there, like, shitting
Oh,
yourself
my
for 2
God.
hours straight, bro. But yeah, then I got here. We had the
What is that?
glow-in-the-dark monster.
What was it? Did you
I think we all know who that was.
What was it?
That was Finn. He went running
Oh.
by the door singing.
I was like, what was that?
I know. I was like, well, that was great timing. It's so spooky.
Yeah, why he's talking about the plane crashing and stuff. I was like, what?
Oh.
Yeah, man. I'm hoping.
Winter weather advisory tonight and a high of 70 tomorrow. Ohio sucks. Yeah, dude. That would be pretty bad, Buzz. I don't know about that. That's pretty terrible. Back to
Yeah,
that
well,
plane thing,
well, it was
Joe,
like-
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it was like 32 yesterday, 34 today, but tomorrow's gonna be 68. So the weather's like all over the fucking place. But I keep winter clothes here, so like I get off the plane in like a shorts and t-shirt, and everybody thinks I'm fucking crazy because they're all standing outside the airport in like jackets and sweatshirts, and I'm out there in like slides and a t-shirt and shorts. But fucking yeah,
Hey,
but that flight was crazy,
But you
man.
get to die in your slides, right? I mean, that's
That's it, bro. If I'm gonna go, I want to go comfortable.
in your slides.
That's right.
Dude, listen, I don't know how y'all deal with that turbulence like that. I used to fly a lot. I worked for a company years and years ago, and I was all over the place. I mean, I would get home. I would go into the kitchen, open my refrigerator. I would get a phone call. Hey, you need to be back at the airport in 3 hours. You're flying here. I'm like, oh, yeah. There's not. Then one time, I had some issues, dude, and I couldn't stand it anymore. It was terrible, man. Flying to me is like some people don't mind it. I know that there's a lot of people don't mind it at all, but it's just not something for me. I know I got to get real drugged up or have them euthanize me before I get on the plane.
Oh man, yeah, I've had some fucked up close calls on planes, like where I thought the plane was going to go down. It was heading to New York. We were going to do upfronts for the network, and Paul and I took a red-eye flight from South Florida to
I'm still here.
To New York, and the plane was overheating, and we had to ride real low. And bro, I swear to God, we were probably, we were hundreds of feet above the ocean, I believe. Like, we were so, in case we went down, we weren't very high. It was nuts. It was absolutely nuts.
This guy, gummies are great. This guy, he knows all about them gummies, man. All about them. That's funny. Patrick said, I feel like every time I feel like that every time I fly. Yeah, I just don't like any of that type of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to go back to this comment here. Yeah, gummies are good. We were coming back out of Arizona. We were all flying back. Me, this gentleman here, Justin, all of us. And I ate like 4 gummies, dude. Because I was trying to knock myself out, but I got wigged out, dude. I didn't even know where I was, who the people were in the airport. I'm like, who is that? Just like, relax, man. And I think he's had an experience with gummies. I'm getting another one now. Oh, okay, good. I think you should type a little bit about your 8-hour plank. Man, dude, man, it's just. Oh, so Patrick says he usually takes 500 milligrams of gummies before flying. Passes right out. See ya. Bro, if I was to take 500 milligrams. There's Paul. What's up, homie? There's Paul. Paul and I have known each other since we were plunk-ass kids. He said, I need a bag of gummies to fly. Yeah, dude. I just remember Paul told me a story one time where he thought there was some regular cookies around, and dude ate them, and they called him like, no. And he said he woke up like 3 days later on his bed. Doesn't even know how he got there, man. So, but the other day I was, not feeling well, and I was trying to knock out something, like whatever. I'm gonna knock this out of my body or whatever. And so I smoked a little, and I'll get into it in a second because I've had some great times. But then I took some NyQuil with it. I think I took too much, and my arms and legs were numb. I was trying to walk around the house. I'm like, okay, I'm not dying. This is just dumb. I know what I've done. Get your head in the game. You got to pull yourself back. Back.
Is that the same night that you and Katie were telling me about?
No, this is just you just went to New York. I thought I died when I first tried 500 milligrams. I told my girl she needed to watch me. Oh my God, I know, dude. It's unbelievable what happens. Brian said I perfected resting in the plank position and not being able to talk. So I make myself get up, but I start to feel my jaw tighten, and I'm like, okay, I've had too much THC. So I go to my trusty bag of goodies, and I get out my CBD oil, and I bring that euphoria back down. But I got to tell you, last night, let me start off with this. So I bought this thing here, okay? So this thing is called a dugout, all right? So I thought, okay, so one hit. Now how it works is you spin this little thing here like this, and out pops this thing, so I have to slow it down because it shoots out like 100 miles an hour pressure. Looks like a cigarette, okay? So you put your medicine, folks, in this side, and then you push it down in there and pack it and twist it real hard, and when you bring it back out, you got a nice pack, right? So I said, I'm going to try this tonight. So it packed real tight. I smoked it, and I started feeling like I wasn't sitting on the chair anymore. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch YouTube. And I found the coolest shit on YouTube. Listen, man, there's this European guy that can belch louder than a semi-truck sounds. I laughed so hard, my neck right through here, my face, my ear canals. I had to get up and leave the room. I was laughing so hard. And Flavio and I went to lunch today, and I played it again for him, and we were laughing, and I wasn't medicated at the time then. So I will send you a link to that. You have to see it. It is the funniest. That dude is the funniest shit. I cannot believe he went to some big church and did it. He did it at some big soccer game. Like, and he like turns into a zombie. And he's this little guy, and the sound that comes out of him is just unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. What's up, Ange? I know you're excited about coming down and seeing your boy Brian and bring the kiddos, so that's kind of cool. Let's see here, everybody else is in there. Paul and Michael Foster. What's up, dude? Good to see you here. So yeah, you got to try this thing, Joe, when you come over, man. And I'll turn it on and see if you don't like laugh. I'm telling you, man.
I'm sleeping over then.
That's fine. I'll make sure there's coffee in there with a couple lumps of sugar for you. Good to go.
I appreciate it.
So I saw some of that footage y'all put up there. There was some neat shit, Jimmy. I love how you caught that. I keep seeing all these new things. There's like this really cool page called WTF Paranormal. I just post all the time. Like I just look at my post. Oh, that's me on there. That's me. Oh, cool. You know. And up right now. Let's do a group smoke section. I'm here, Patrick. I've already done it, bro. I'm already here. See, it's illegal in New York, so ghost the shit out of luck.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
No, it's not.
I'm getting. You can't come on the show and watch it unless you've rolled up a little bit. I mean, Brittany can because she's weird, but everybody else, I mean, you just can't do it.
I just get to hear all the fun stories.
Jimmy would be great because he'd be like this.
And then my famous words, I'd be like, I don't feel nothing.
I know.
No, I don't feel nothing.
Yeah, stand up. Whoa. How come my feet don't touch the steps? And it's like this. Some things are a little different for everybody, man. It's a little different, but it's just got to be different. I love it. You can't watch this one. I thought about doing a second segment of this show in the middle of the week, Joe. We get a couple of people, I'll invite guests, and we'll just call it the Burn Hour on the Croc Night. And I want to talk about whatever. I think it would be fun because I don't care. I just do this for fun so we can see everybody here and catch up with everyone. I love to see the comments. I see a lot of people here. I know you secret watchers. You secret watchers are not going to comment or whatever. You don't have to, but thanks for joining us. And then the people who are here legitimately, man, comment. I'd like to see what's going on and what everybody's up to. And so some good news in Florida for the snake people. The people who are there know, but I got an email. And now we're allowed to take the big snakes outside, do shows with them in the environment. The verbiage says controlled. It doesn't say enclosed, controlled. And they can actually touch them again. So that means we can start taking the big anacondas out and the things.
Thank God.
Programs. And I can bring we have a rather large 19-foot reticulated python at work. That's super cool. And I'm going to put it back in the shoebox. So we have like this fake shoebox. And we bring it out of a shoebox. And you just wouldn't believe it. It's like something the size of your laptop, and this 19-foot animal comes out of it. And you go, okay, we're going to take this little guy out. And we walk, and next person steps in line, next person. And it really gets the crowd going. And we had to stop that for a while. It was really disgusting. It was like this knee-jerk reaction, you know. It was like Will Smith slapping Chris Rock in the face. Like, it was like that. Nobody even thought it through.
Oh, my God.
You know how to touch on it because it's so ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
But I think it's cool. If they were pretending it, awesome. If he wasn't, hey, he's got to do what he's got to do. You know what I mean? It's okay to slap somebody once.
They say it wasn't. It was 100% real and authentic. Like it was not planned or staged.
My question is, who is they, and what are they in charge?
Like the writers of the show, the writers of the Oscars said that was not in the script, that was not planned, and they gave a lot of kudos and props to Chris for holding it together and doing it so well to keep the show going on. And his statement that he kind of came off the whim of just saying, well, that's, I think, the first time in Oscar history or something like that. He said as his quote, like after getting hit, like he had to swallow it. Cause he actually apparently dealt like throughout his life with like anger management. And so he really had to like take the high road with that one. Like
who? Rock did?
Chris Rock. Mm-hmm.
No, everybody hates Chris. I'm getting a gator soon. I've been around gators. I really have a supernatural attachment to them. Truly incredible. Yeah, man, they really are. I've been around them for almost my entire life, and I'm old. I'm a sand bit older than dirt. I've never gotten too spiritual with them, but they've gotten spiritual with me. I can tell you that. And when they're spiritual, it just comes on like the Almighty. Let me tell you. And what I mean by everybody hates Chris, for all you youngins out there, there was a show by Chris Rock called Everybody Hates Chris. It was a real good show.
It was funny.
Right when you really get into it, it ended. Like it just cut off. They never even brought anybody back. I like the light.
Yeah, I
can see it.
I don't know why.
Here's the problem I had with the whole Will Smith thing.
Okay.
What kind of grown ass heterosexual man slaps another grown ass man? Like, that's some bitch shit. If he was gonna do anything, he should have just cracked him.
I don't know, man. Let me tell you this.
And that would have been that.
That slap was pretty good.
But I got to tell you, Brian said he hates Hollywood, and that's okay. You'd be good in Hollywood. I could do a whole show around that motherfucker right there. I'll tell you though, I was at a nightclub one time, man. There was this big dude, and this guy was like messing around. This guy slapped him so hard, I bet his bowels released, man. I mean, and it was so disrespectful, dude. Like, he just slapped a grown man in the face. Like, can you imagine being slapped in the face? If you slap a man and you don't want to get sued, what's wrong with you, boy? Maybe that's why he didn't want to get sued. It was just a small slap. Brian, I was all in act. Their ratings are lower than Joe Biden's approval. You think it was a lot of people think that. I've been reading a lot of people think it is. I mean, who would know?
Yeah.
I mean, who would really know what's going on, Judy? I said, who would really know? Like, how would you know that? Like, I mean,
I don't know. Chris Rock coming out saying that it was not like he didn't mean to offend anybody. He didn't know anything personal about her or anything like that. It was just it was part of the writing. It was part of the jokes for the night, and he just was going off script. Like it was nothing personal. And my biggest problem is people need to learn what a joke is. Did we all forget? Did we all forget how to grow up in comedy? Like, did we all forget what just a funny joke was? You know, everybody takes it so personal nowadays that it just gets way out of hand. I mean, come on. Eddie Murphy was king of like some really bad comedy, but it was comedy. You had to have a good laugh.
Eddie Murphy
Come
was
on.
He didn't have shit on Sam Kinison, Richard Pryor. Y'all want to be offended?
Richard Pryor.
I love Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
I mean, you know his. I can't even tell you some of the titles of his albums that he did because I can't even say it.
You know who else was a funny comedian too? Gene Wilder. People didn't know that he could get really crude and funny too, but he did. But look at Gene Wilder. He was a great guy too. I mean, these comedians.
You know who I never really liked? Bob Saget.
Stay off.
I didn't find him to be a good comedian at all.
No, I didn't either.
No.
I didn't like Bob Saget. No,
He was really good at being the dad on the show, and that was what he was good at. And America's
Funniest.
I'm not going to talk shit about him because he's not here,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying I never was a fan of his work. I never could. He was just.
It wasn't funny.
You know who I'm a huge fan of?
Comedy show and you sign up for that, you don't do this. You know, this wasn't a comedy show. That's true. Patrick, nowadays it's not humor. These people are insulting people through jokes, which I like to do that. Be careful. Brian will too. He's an insulter. Let's see here. That happened. 330 million Americans would have never even realized the Oscars had aired. It's so true.
It's true.
I know. I saw a lot of memes with that.
Up? Yes, George Carlin, one of the best. One of the best.
Oh, George Carlin.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's not forget Andrew Dice Clay. Ever forget that man right there. Straight out of fucking New York. That guy, he was the leader of all of us. Yeah, that's true. Sensitive people these days, Paul. I totally understand. I think it's fun. I like getting roasted. I like going to roasts. I mean,
roast was a huge thing on Comedy Central forever. They would purposely get horribly roasted by other fellow comedians. I mean, I don't know. I just think things get carried away, you know. And listen, if someone's got an illness, we don't make fun of that. If their child has, a disability or something like that, you don't make fun of that stuff. That stuff's hurtful. That stuff is detrimental to them. But there's a line in comedy where even comedics will make fun of themselves in their own life because they're like, how could you not laugh at this? This is hilarious, you know? So I just think, I don't think it was anything bad. Maybe the writers didn't know that she had health or issues as to why she had hair loss because let's face it, Jada Pinkett Smith has been without hair now for how many years? So it's not like we all knew she was dealing with something.
Yeah,
it's like the
G.I.
Jane look.
You know what's funny though? If you go and watch the video, and when he first threw that joke out, Will Smith
rolled her eyes.
No,
and she rolled her eyes.
She rolled her eyes. Will Smith laughed. Then he saw her rolling eyes, and he was like, "Oh shit! I gotta step up."
Oh, I didn't mean that, baby. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go slap him for that comment. I'm like, where were you, Will? Did you not read the room?
Oh my God, it was funny.
I mean, that's true.
So there isn't a lot of true comedians out there. To me, I find humor in everything, and people don't like me for it. I think if somebody was to get out of their car and explode, I would laugh. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to be
Depends on how
like,
they
I'm not
looked
thinking
before
about
they
the aftermath. I have you can hate me. I have a problem. I don't care. Even people who are close to me don't like the way I do things. I have friends or something. It is what it is. But comedy is funny. And what you do is you take these slight idiotic things that someone does and you blow them up, right? And you just have a good time with them. And I like them done about me too. I think roasting and bashing back and forth. Now we grew up, Paul Wellman, Brad Lewis, all of us. We were like, I mean, we there was a time, and Paul remember this. Let's see here. Let's see. She's also been with every other actor in Hollywood. This is true.
But apparently
Beta
not Will
male-
Smith.
Beta male Will.
What
So-
they say.
Like we would do drastic things. It's funny. I remember we were sent to this church camp when I was a kid, and I might have talked about this before, but since Paul's here, so a couple of the Christian kids, took the square clothes off and decided they were going to play a prank, and the prank that they ended up playing burnt down the entire camping cabins. All of them were on fire.
Story.
So
Oh my God.
I remember they came for us, bro. They took us. They got us. And all I could remember, there was an old 80s song, "How can you sleep when your beds are burning?" I just remember that playing in my head. And people were screaming, "How did you do this?" And I'm like, we didn't do this. Then it was like, oh my gosh, what happened with that? Oh boy. That's why Will is mad. But I mean, but it was funny to me. I know it was terrible and all the cabins were burnt down and everybody's shit was all burned up, but nobody died and nobody got hurt, but it was hilarious. It was hilarious, dude. So, I mean, I guess you can make comedy out of anything you want, or you can take it personal. Yeah. I mean, there are lines that are crossed, but then what lines? Who's making the decisions on what lines are crossed and what lines aren't crossed? I mean, let's just be real about it. I mean, you can make jokes about whatever you want to make jokes about. So it's up to that particular individual what they think is crossing the line. I personally think that way. Like,
I agree with that. I like something that I wouldn't say about something, but somebody else might. So
Right.
it's that preference of that person, I guess.
exactly.
Mhm.
So yes, I'm not. I also don't want to say that it's appropriate to, vindictively attack somebody in a demeaning manner for that, because there's a line between comedy and comedy and bullying. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we talked about that before. I think some cases bullying is a necessary thing, and only because I myself and Jimmy and Joe now we do work with animals on a regular basis. You'll find bullying amongst those colonies to adjust. We're not talking about torture now. We're talking about just common bullying. That's what people do, and then sometimes the underdog stands up. So it's such a fine line, and it's hard to say stuff because people misread things or say something about a certain thing. But I'm not ashamed. I don't think you are, Joe, or anybody else, about what I think is funny, what I don't think is funny.
Not at all. I mean,
But that's why there's comedy for everybody. That's why there's like a comedian that fits everybody's humor, because what somebody thinks is funny is not funny to somebody else. That's why there's a comedian for everybody's humor. Because
I'm
everybody
terrible.
finds humor in something.
I hope that if something happens to me and I explode, I hope you laugh at it. I mean, that's the best thing I can
Well,
say.
like I said, I laugh when people get hurt. I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious. It's
I saw these
because
two
it's
idiots.
when
Go ahead,
people make their faces when they get hurt. It's the facial expression. I can't help it. I just start laughing. I don't know. I shouldn't laugh. It's terrible. And my first reaction is to just flat out laugh my butt off and then be like, "Are you okay?" And it's like, oh, meanwhile they're on their way to the hospital, but hey, they're getting help. They're okay now. It's just
Yeah, he said, when you get slapped. Well, Chris Rock was kind of a little bitch about it. He should have fought him. That's what I think. I have monkeys. I think everyone should own a couple. Yeah, I do too. And they act like that. They're crazy. And they do. They bully each other. Here's something else, Brian. But I'll tell you, he's dying. This guy's funny. Bumble just proved my point. That's why they warn you when they go to these haggling comedy events. So it's not for you. Don't go. Right. I think that if you go sit in a place that, personally, I don't want to hang anybody around any human being that's that sensitive. I have no desire. Those are not my people. So
Well, then we can't be
don't fucking
friends. I'm
watch-
gonna leave the show.
There's a band that there's a band called Blood for Blood, and there was an opening. It's called Paper Gangster. But why don't you go whitewash your daddy's fence, you suburban nerd? And that, I think, is very fitting because most of us that have grown up, I mean, I don't, we've grown up differently, I guess, but I wouldn't go, I'm not going to do that. So I'm not going to go hang with you and be sensitive. Oh my God, they hurt my feelings. Some guy called me gay because I have earrings, or, somebody made fun of my gray beard. I don't care about that, man. So make fun of me all you want to. Have a good time, because that's what it's about. I want to be around people that laugh at everything. No, I saw these two drunks pull into a gas station on a video about 2 years ago and pump gas and light a cigarette. It wasn't a cigarette that started the fire. It was flicking that stupid torch. Blew the whole hose off. The other fire went through the car, and the other person hair was on fire, went running out the other side. You know what? Fuck fucking you.
God.
You deserve that. It's funny.
That was stupidity.
You should look like a pizza
my
by the time they find you for doing something like that. And the reason I say that is, what if there was a family next to them, man?
Exactly.
And they hurt somebody? Then it's not funny. But since it was it's funny.
That reminds me of Zoolander when he tells the story about how all of his modeling buddies died at the gas pump.
What's up, Heidi? How you doing?
Oh God. Yeah.
Will Smith couldn't have handled it in a different way. That's funny though. Yep, it was. Learn to be confident who you are, and other people doesn't matter, and they don't affect you. That's true, and I really think
it's very true.
But we just been through. I don't know. It's a touchy thing because I don't want to anger anybody. I really don't care, but I don't want to hate me. But I think a lot of things are funny that you may not think is funny.
But there's a way, right? So nowadays, let's go back. So if somebody in your group says a joke, where you're like, "Oh, that was low, man. That's off color. That was too," have. Excuse me for saying this, but have the spine or the balls to go to that person and be like, okay, that was too far, man. Too freaking far that time, or too soon, as the old saying used to go, too soon, too soon. We used to say that to each other. If somebody said, Troy would say off color shit all the time and be like, okay, Troy, that's too far. Troy would laugh. We're like, oh my God, that was too far. But we're laughing because he's laughing, but we're saying it, all right, too far. My feelings aren't hurt. Would I have said the joke? No. But my feelings are not hurt. I'm not sensitive about it. I'm just like, oh my God, stop. That's enough. That's enough. Too far, too far. Because that's how we interact. That's how normal people should interact. If you're too sensitive, then don't hang around normal people. And I said that.
Exactly.
Because that is just a normal behavior.
See, but in the sense with Will Smith, in my opinion, I think if it offended him in that situation, he should have went after the fact, went up to Chris Rock and said, hey, you stepped over the line, and if it escalated at that point, then there could be a brawl, but what he did at that moment, I don't think was the right way to handle that.
Absolutely not, because then he continued to scream from his seat.
Yeah.
Don't let her name come out of your effing mouth. Come on,
I think it was funny. It was funny to me, but I think there was something deeper than that there. It had nothing to do. I really don't think he was defending his wife. I had a discussion with a couple other people and Katie about it. I don't think he was defending his wife. I think he was. It was a lot more than that, and I think he didn't want to have a long night. How's that sound? That's what I think. And read about her. And I don't know what alopecia, where your hair's not around. I didn't know that was I don't know anything about that. What it is, I don't know.
Huh?
Whatever it is, I think. What is it? Alopecia or something?
Yeah, it's something. Oh, like that.
What she's battling with? Yeah. Who defines? Yeah, exactly. Who defines normal? That is very true.
I don't think Chris knew about her alopecia. Yeah,
because anybody did
until Will smacked it, so now everybody knows. But
what? Nobody knew.
Is she a really nice person? Somebody tell me out here. Is she like a really nice, wonderful person? I mean, are we talking about Betty White here? I would slap somebody for Betty White.
No.
I would slap somebody for Betty White.
She's kind of an ass. Isn't she kind of an ass?
Yeah.
I don't know much about her.
I've met her. I met her one time. We were doing a talk show, and I forget where we were, and we both met her, and she was very nice to us when we met her. We took a couple pictures, but that's all. It was very professional, and that was it. Pictures were taken. We said, hey, and then we went different ways. So never really got to really talk to her for a very long period of time.
Listen, perfect, like Katie said. Bro, she's taking pipe from her fucking kid's friend, right? Openly admitted to it went on TV talking about if Will Smith loved her enough, he would have known that she was banging somebody else, and put the blame on him on TV, saying that because he's not good in bed is the reason why she sleeps around. Bro, she basically emasculated him, neutered him, fucking, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a public figure. You know what I'm saying? And she went and stripped him of his man card on TV. You know, so
I think that's much.
still,
On top of that, though, they've got kids that are in the light too. And that's just messed up. Sorry. If all of that is 100% true, there's more that's just more messed up than him slapping Chris Rock. I mean, it almost sounds like he just had a mental snap. Like, I just can't take anymore, Chris. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, probably call him later and be like, you don't know what I deal with. You just don't know. Like, but if that's true,
Patrick, I heard that too, Patrick. I did hear that.
I watched the interview, some red table, red door bullshit interview, where they discussed it, but it was never a full, like, you know, like a full agreement to doing it.
Okay, can I just say something? Let's just talk about the rawness of this, okay? This is what pisses me off. Oh my God, like, Will does not satisfy my needs, so I have to find it everywhere else. Okay, you know what? Then leave. Freaking leave. If you're that miserable and you're going to call him out in front of all of the people and your kids are involved, freaking leave. Stop making it everybody else's problem but yours. If you're not satisfied, bitch, then freaking leave. Like, I'm sorry, that's a bitch move. And I feel bad for Will Smith if that's the truth. Yeah. Just freaking leave. I'm sorry. I'm so over hearing that, like blaming the other person for your own issues. Freaking leave. Bye. Peace, bitch. Leave. Take your little issue and go. Like, no. That's messed up. Sorry, that heats me up.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that. Listen, so let's take that back. That's a good point. That's a valid point. Yeah, it is. Brian, that's dead on. It's the culture. You got to be a victim. Fucking
absolutely.
This is the realest thing I've seen all night put on here. That's why I love this guy. I'm going to kiss you on the fucking forehead when I see you, Brian, for that. Thank you.
Yep. Like Godfather style.
Yeah, that's
my boy, my Vanum.
Hey, listen, we got to talk, motherfucker. I agree with her, but their relationship is an open relationship. Yeah, that's fine. There's a lot of weird stuff.
No, that's fine.
Don't do their thing.
Fine.
But what I was going to say was there's humor now, and then so if two people aren't content, that's when you don't go out and attack somebody like in public. Like you're fighting with someone or you know, like you just shouldn't do that to the person you're with. It doesn't matter who you are. Like, oh, you know, you're a bitch and you lazy fuck, whatever. And this, but oh, you don't satisfy me. That is terribly wrong. That to me, I think there's a thing called etiquette. It's not so much about respect for me. It's about professionalism. And there's a lot of shit that I'll take from a lot of people because there's a lot of, I like to put it like there's a lot of unprofessional people. They don't understand how to handle something. So they become little, and little people do little things. Okay. Will Smith really isn't a little person. And I don't think Jada Pinkett Fence would be anything without Will Smith because I didn't know who the fuck she was until she got with him in the first place. So let's just put that out there. And I don't know them personally, and I don't know what their demons are. So I'm not going to judge either of them. But I do know that Will Smith, I remember growing up and remember seeing Will Smith hit the market and become big when he was Fresh Prince, and they were before the show when they were actually rappers. And earlier on the show, I was using a couple references and I was making jokes, and I said, I think my bowels were released. We're talking about the airplane. Why we were talking about Will Smith? Because he wrote a song, for those of you that don't know, called I Think I Can Fight Mike Tyson. It was a really, really funny song.
And that's why they said Mike Tyson.
I remember. Jeff said if someone said I didn't satisfy them, I just say, Ricky, get the fuck out. See, Jeff's a scumbag like the rest of us, so there's no sensitivity. Who's to say they are not content? They are both kind of do what they want to do, and they are comfortable and people things differently. And I agree with. I think Will does a lot. Will does a lot for his family. Yeah, I'm sure he does. And he's a good actor.
I just have a problem with that.
Stephen and Asia Curry. I guess I don't follow enough Hollywood. I don't know who Steph and Asia.
The only problem is though is if they have an open relationship.
Basketball.
Okay. If that's true, if they have an open relationship, that's fine. That's their business. But she shouldn't be coming out and saying, well, the reason we have an open relationship or the reason why I'm doing this is because if you're just having an open relationship, just own it. Just say,
Yeah.
yeah, Will and I are so cool. We're so good in our relationship. We have an open marriage. It's our thing. Peace, everybody, whatever. You don't have to bash your partner. I have never heard Will Smith come out and be like, oh, I don't get none from her that's anything great, so I've got to go do other stuff elsewhere. He's always kept it up on the up and up. Like, this is like probably the first random act that I've ever seen Will Smith do like this that was so out of character, in my opinion, from anything I've ever seen him do. He always seems to be on the up and up professionally, so it just seemed really weird.
Yeah.
Same
for
reason
sure.
you guys talk on the podcast, she talks on hers. Yeah. I wouldn't know if it were a pizza chef.
No, he's answering. Hey, Troy, go back up a few comments.
Okay.
Brad messaged, anyone have a 5-foot pizza? That's for you and I, Troy.
Brad, what are you doing, man? Holy shit, that's awesome. Man, I got to call that dude. That's awesome.
What's up,
That's
Brad?
when you guys were on the road, wasn't it? When you guys had that like ginormous pizza that you were sitting with? Oh my God, that thing was huge.
You okay, Patrick? You can blow up whatever you want. It's awesome. Yeah, I think that there's like I said, everybody's too sensitive. Just do your thing. I mean, I guess Will could leave if he wants to, or a lot of times, man, like if I was an advisor, I would go and be like, yo, Sarah, go start a bunch of shit with Jimmy in the public eye, because you know what that does? It creates a buzz. Now everybody knows who you are again. And you profit off of it. So there's that too. And don't forget that a lot of that stuff is done for that reason, to get your name back in the buzz light again.
Oh yeah, they do that a lot in Hollywood.
Any attention is good attention, especially in the media. She puts her husband down all the time on her podcast.
But you do know, like, when I think Brian said earlier in comments about if Will Smith never slapped him, you wouldn't know the Oscars was going on.
And that is 100% true.
Yeah, and it's true. But that's a thing, though, too.
Yeah, nobody would know.
What did this happen because of that? Did they want to spice it up for people to talk about the Oscars?
You never know.
Next year they're going to be like, man, who's? But then you know what? It's like, would he have smacked 50 Cent? Sarah and I were talking about this. Would he have walked and smacked Mike Tyson if he was talking up there and said that?
Or
you want to talk
Denzel?
about a motherfucker that will jump straight off the shit and smack somebody as Mike Tyson. God fucking bless him. And I still, to this day, think the reason he bit off Holyfield's ear or whatever is because they were making him lose that fight. Because that motherfucker could fight. I don't care what anybody says. Somebody heard his pigeon and made him a warrior.
The new meme that's going around is that Mike Tyson will be hosting next year's Oscars. So that's the new meme that's been going around.
That comment from Jeff.
Chris dropped a new tour yesterday. See, so there could be a lot more going on, Jimmy and I arrange a fight in public somewhere, and they'd be like, what's going on with those guys? Just to get more people to walk over there and kiss a finger. The guy pulled a gun on Tyson, and Tyson hugged him. Yeah, because he knew he wasn't.
Because he can. That's why. Because he can.
Clearly it worked. You guys are still talking about it. Thank you, Brian. That's what we're doing before
True. Oh, man.
On
that note.
That's
but it was
funny.
really sad because it was sad. One last thing I'll say is, Will Smith's a big dude. Chris Rock is like, he's a little person. And I don't think
like Cody.
He didn't even have his lifts on. Okay? He didn't even let that man put his lifts on. Will had to lean down to slap him. That's the only part I thought was like, that's terrible. We're taking that back to a funny joke. He said a video of it on YouTube like 2 weeks ago. I'm going to watch that. And then Pookie. What I think is really interesting is like we were talking about, people doing things or making fun of somebody or whatever. I mean, just recently, look what happened in Orlando, that 14-year-old boy flying off that ride, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, that was really terrible. First of all, somebody said they didn't want to offend him or something. I've been reading all these reports. You're too big to be on that ride. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Somebody didn't want to tell him that and they didn't close it all the way. No, listen, man, you're too big. You don't have to say, you're whatever, but you're just too big.
Yeah.
And you can't go on all rides. If you're too small or you're too big, you can't fit on all rides. And so, you know, I think it's sad that someone did that. That kid lost his life. But on the same sense, to show you what the world's like, I've seen nothing but memes and video clips now that they're trying to, you know, stop people from making on TikTok about him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
disgusting.
saying? So think about it. I mean, you know, I can just say this to you if you're listening to radio. Like I saw this meme where the thing comes out, he comes flying out of it, and it like went to slow-mos, and they used that guy, Brian McKnight, that peed on girls or whatever. And it's like, I believe I can fly. I saw that like 4 times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's who you want to talk about being all right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I was packing a bowl. You want to be, because somebody will kick me off here for that. You want to be there's people laughing at that. If I open it up, see, look, let me show you something. So if I open that meme up, this guy's gonna laugh. So everybody just, you know, everybody's just sorry, I'm jumping ahead. There's a lot of them popping up here. I'm trying to catch up on them all. So everybody's gonna be very sensitive to other things. Like, was it clever? You know, it was clever. You know, but was it funny? It's funny to some people. It's not funny to others. So I mean, like I said, that's a case in itself where, you know, oh, it's too soon. They shouldn't be doing that. It's too soon. That's
even something that's not even like too soon.
It's going to change it. That kid's not coming back. Period. In the story.
No,
his life is over. And you know how I look at it, man. You die where you're supposed to die. That's it. I mean,
but that's a point true that you make there, though. Like, right. So we have a lot of sensitive people in the world, which we feel is pretty high number. It seems like there's so many sensitive people that have sensitive issues and everything upsets them. But then to come to find out that when something actually serious happens, that's someone's kid that died that day. And these people are making these god awful memes. It's like, you know, come on now. That's ridiculous. You're sensitive because I don't like the shirt you wear. And now you're going to go tell your employer that I've upset you and I've ruined your life. And now you have to go home and cry for 12 hours. And now I've lost my job, but you can go home and make a meme about this poor kid dying. This is so, where did we go wrong? Like when all of a sudden did all this start happening?
I love this. And I say this all the time. This is exactly who I am. If you really want to know who I am as a person, I don't give a fuck. You're allowed to hate whoever the fuck you want. You're allowed to love whoever you want. You can do whatever you want to do. You want to make fun of somebody dying? Make fun of it. I don't think anybody has a right to tell anybody they can't do that. Just as they don't have a right to tell you can't be upset about it. Because we're in America. And as long as you're not going out and hurting anybody, burning someone's house down, beating someone up, destroying them in any way, you can sit in your own home and hate, make whatever you want. And guess what, folks? If you don't like it, go through that TikTok and skip it. But you know why you won't? Because you want to see it. Because there's a side to humans that want to see catastrophes. Like they can say, tonight on ABC, we're going to talk about raising sunflowers. Tonight on ABC, boys' arms get ripped off by an alligator at a local park. Then they're setting the fucking DVR back in the day. They don't give a fuck about a daisy. They want to see a young kid get his arms ripped off.
Yep. Well, you know, we jokingly say, you know, people go to NASCAR rides that, you know, races to see the races. No, they go to see the crashes. You know, when someone's handling animals, you know, they're like, oh, my God, is it the animal's day? You know, and see, and Britt's the same way.
I'm awful about this because you can even ask John, when there's a hockey game, I don't watch hockey to watch hockey. I watch hockey for the full-blown fights that happen in the middle of the rink. And these guys go at each other until one gets in the penalty box. And John's like, do you even know anything about him? Like, I know how the game goes. But why is that guy not fighting right now? And I get unglued, you know, but that's just something, you know, that I don't know why I find it fun.
You know, I'll tell you a really cool story while you're both on here and the rest of the world is listening. The very first time I met Sasquatch, which is, or I'm not going to say the first time I met him. First time I got to hang out with him, which is my sister's husband, John Sasquatch. Joe named him that. Let me say something. So we go. You'll love this, Jeff. So I say, okay, we're all going to go out. Now, I didn't know at the time that John was a true scumbag like me. I thought, oh, no, you know, it's not. But deep down, he had already partied harder than the rest of us. He was a pirate in his own day. All right, he's retired.
He was.
All right, he's the Jimmy Buffett of the Sasquatch.
Captain Redbeard, that guy.
I know. So I say, we're going to a Steel Panther concert. Okay? We go to a Steel Panther concert. The first time it was ever held on Disney property. at the House of Blues. And let's see, I like watching another 48 Hours. They were so raunchy, so disgusting. They were
it was bad.
House of Blues for life. So bad, wasn't it? Banned.
It was bad because I even said to Troy, because anybody that knows me, this is not it's not my thing. I'm not anti anybody having fun at those things. That's just not, they're not my kind of band, my music or whatever. But I was like, yeah, we'll go with Troy. It's a group. Everybody's going. Let's go have some fun. And I was like, yeah, my brother promised me that they put out a good show and it'll be fine. And so, and then I'm like, all right, so it'll be fun. I'll bring John. This will be a great way for them to meet and hang out outside of like how he knew John before as my friend and through work and so on. So we go, and it was so bad. Like it was like, it was like porn.
I just like it because,
and I was like, oh my God. And we, of course, Troy's like, let's keep going all the way to the front, all the way to the front. We got to be the closest. I mean, we were so close to the stage. And it was just so bad that I remember driving in the truck with John. And John's like, does your brother know you at all? Did he really think that you like this?
I do. But he was acting good. Okay, Joe. So to set the stage, he was probably.
He was very he was trying to be proper for me.
Hold on.
The guy.
Hold on. Is it me or does she sound like the devil?
What?
Like every time she talks, I hear like a demonic thing in my fucking headphones.
That's you. I don't have headphones on. I can't hear it. Brittany, what did you pick up? Out of all the Steel Panther concerts you could have gone to, that was way far the most vulgar of their shows. Katie is dead on right on that because they do weird shows. So I'll tell you what, man. Back when I was I was on a show and I was flying into LA. And I called up our producer and I said, listen, man, Steel Panther is one of my favorite bands. They're playing tonight on the Sunset Strip. He said, okay, I'll send you a car. I got to see him for the first time on the Sunset Strip there at House of Blues in L.A. And it was awesome, man, because I felt like I went the way the people were totally different than the people in Orlando, it's just different kind of people. And so I'm like, it's going to be a show like that. It was so fun. When we went to that one, bro, it was – but what I was trying to get back to, because I'm high and I forgot, is my favorite part was every time I would look back at John, he was just standing there, dude, like he was looking up at the sky and Jesus came home. Like he said.
It was so funny because later when we were talking, he's like, I have to be honest, I didn't know where to look. I didn't want you to see me looking at this woman flashing and being topless on stage. And then at one point, there's like 12 women fully topless on the stage, right? And he's like, I'm going, I can't look at Troy because I don't want Troy first meeting him like this to think, geez, you could have some respect for my sister and not look at these women. And he's like, and I can't look at the stage. I can't pretend like I'm looking at the singers. So I had to look up just straight at the ceiling. And that was until the guy came like body serving. And then he's like, then I had to just look at the floor. I didn't know where to look anymore. I just did not know where to look anymore to be proper.
Bro, it was a really good time. And I wish you all could have been there.
Oh, it was funny.
It was really good. I lost Joe. He must have popped off. I don't know if he's resetting his earbuds or whatever, but it was kind of weird. I lost.
It's whatever was in his ear.
It's Kate.
She must be with him.
In his ear.
Matthew said, Anthony Meyer said it was pronounced Orlando. I'll put that up again because it was really good. Orlando. Here's Joe. I hear knocking in the green room. Hang on. See if we can get back to it.
Oh, that was funny.
And the whole thing's messed up. Jeez, gosh, Kate, stop messing with it. You brought Arizona home with you, didn't you? For those of you that know, Kate is from. She went by Kate, Ma Barker from the Ma Barker house. And she is one of the ghosts that made friends with Joe. And I don't care if you think we're crazy. It was a really good time.
It was a good time.
Definitely.
It was.
100% need to do it.
I had to pop out and pop back in because every time Brittany talked, it sounded like some kind of demonic spirit.
Joe.
Like it was whatever she was saying in some like hellish, deep demonic voice.
I love it.
It's freaking me the fuck out. I'm way too stoned for that shit.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine, Joe. Everything's fine.
That sounded like that sounded like a pervert Muppet.
It did. That wasn't a good one. I can't do demonic. Sorry. I would have to say it and Troy my voiceover because there'd be no way I could do that.
Listen. How many of you can watch a Family Guy?
I wish Family Guy.
I haven't really watched it.
Okay. My favorite is Herbert the Pervert, the Chomelin.
Oh God.
He's the funniest fucking character in the entire show, and he has a fucking dog that's paralyzed that does his peas and poops, and that's exactly why I started doing that with my dog because I thought it was hilarious.
Joe.
There's a scene of 80 seconds of this dog dragging itself out of the house, and you're just sitting there watching. And he goes, "Come on, Jesse." His dog's name is Jesse. "Come on, Jesse. Time to do your peas and poops." And this dog drags its ass out into the yard, and it lays there and shoots a big turd out and walks back in. The whole scene. The guy's awesome, first of all.
You know,
But he always messes. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
He always messes with the chubby son of the Family Guy. Yeah. "You got some muscly arms. You want to come down to the cellar and have a popsicle?" That is the best thing ever. And if you remember Dirty Dancing, they did "I've had the time of my life" or whatever.
Yeah.
He sang that to the boy while he was peeping at him in the window in the shower.
Well, even the Star Wars special too. Remember, he was Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars special.
Yes. And he's like, "I've had the time of my," and he's looking at the guy washing his armpits and his butt and everything. It's just hilarious. But people found that offensive. There's a lot of complaints.
Just so you guys know, Brittany now sounds like
Get an angel blade. Kill that demon, Joe.
She sounds like what I would imagine Tinkerbell would sound like.
Tinkerbell.
What?
Man, I'm having
Yeah, Matthew,
fun.
I did the voice. I used
You're
to love it
fucking
because I
with
would
me
make
now,
phone calls.
I haven't changed my voice not once.
Jeff, that's right, Jeff. "Hey, muscly arm." I've mastered that voice. I'm going to start making phone calls to all of you doing it now.
You know what? I actually called a Halloween store
Hey,
as Lois
muscly
Griffin
arm.
asking for a costume for a Halloween party. And they really just kept it going. I was like, I'm just going to keep talking like Lois Griffin this whole time.
Dude, Jeff nailed it, bro. This bitch nailed it. We're in the same vibe right there, man. The same vibration. Hey, muscly arms. I love it. He's the paper boy. He got mad because I got this really little weird skinny kid that was a paper boy, and he didn't like him. It's just the whole thing was funny.
I swear, Joe, I'm not. I'm dead. I swear, dude.
I'm too fucking stoned for this.
I'm not messing with my voice. I'm not. I promise.
There it is
Brittany,
again.
I think somebody wants you to do your voice.
What?
That's what you
There's a
sound
comment.
like.
It said, "Do it. I want to hear it."
Yeah, do it. What do you call it?
My Lois
Do it.
Griffin? Oh man,
Come on.
okay, hold on. It's been a little while. Hold on. Oh, Lois. Oh, Peter. What are you doing later? Oh my God. Oh, no, not in front of the kids. It's all right. Oh God, okay.
That's good.
Oh. Yeah.
He's still the best, man. He's still the best. And Brian's the dog is the guy that only has any logic. I just don't think that's right. I just love that, dude. The dog walks in, he takes his paper and a cup of coffee and hits the men's room. It's just
Listen, when they killed Brian, I was like so upset. Like he was dead for like several episodes, and I was like, you can't kill Brian. You cannot freaking kill Brian.
You keep running Joe off. You must be doing demon arms or something.
I am not doing anything. My voice
Joe's
has not
freaking
changed.
out.
I know, but nothing's happened. Don't know. I think he's too high. I think he's flying a little high tonight, and he's hearing things not happening. When he comes on, I swear to God, I'm going to talk as Mickey Mouse, and he's just stuck in the
You should do it. When he comes back, you should do it.
Poor Joe. I swear, Joe, I'm not changing my voice.
He's
Everybody
going to hear
can vouch for
demonic
me.
Mickey Mouse. That would
I
really
know.
cause problems for him.
You're all right there, Joe.
Oh, God.
There he is. I think he's coming back.
Poor Joe.
What happened, Joe? You good?
Look at his face.
Yeah, I'm good. Bro, it's fucking
I
bugged
kind of
out.
do too, Jeff. I mean, I gave him some good stuff at one point in my time.
No, I'm in
Oh,
the Bronx.
Joe.
That shit is potent as hell.
Yeah, so it's not me, Joe. It's just, hey.
So is her voice right now demonic to you, Joe? Like right now?
No, it's normal. No, now she's normal.
Oh, okay.
Whew. All right.
Hmm.
Sorry.
But-
You never know what might come out of my side.
I don't know.
You need to do Sid the Sloth. Yeah, you remember you did all those things.
Oh, Oh yeah, I used to do voices all the time. Sid the Sloth. Oh, look, a dandelion. Must be the last one of the season. Now that voice cracks me up because my brother got me into Robot Chicken one night. And I remember the night and I remember the exact episode that I went, I love Robot Chicken.
I'm just stopping.
And I'm watching Robot Chicken for the rest of my life. Like, I love Robot Chicken. And it was the episode where the gummy bear is like laughing and dancing and running over this hill. And all of a sudden she gets in a bear trap and she's like screaming and she's cursing like GDMFer. And they're like bleeping it out. And then all of a sudden she like takes a bite of her leg and she's like, oh, I really do taste good. And like she chews off her leg and then runs again and gets stuck in another bear trap and just starts cursing like gummy bears, the best snack of the day or whatever. I like buzzed out laughing. Trey and I were dying laughing. I was crying my eyes out. And then they did a Star Wars special with this little kid who's like this little nerdy kid who loves Star Wars, but his voice is similar to Sid the Sloth's voice. So it was like the best. Like I would love watching this character because there was an episode, I think Trey remembered, like his grandfather told him how he met George Lucas and he saved George Lucas' life. And then he like turns to his grandson on his lap and his grandson's like, what about the day I was born, Grandpa? And he's like, not even close. Because he's telling this whole story about how
that was funny.
George Lucas, jump on my back and I'll save you. He's like in a tauntaun costume running down the hallway. The freaking show is so great. Like that stuff's hilarious to me. But whatever. There it is.
That's it, folks.
So we take each other's hand because we seem to understand the urgency.
You need to that's it. You don't understand. It's all about his little boyfriend. You guys have to watch that. I had to hear it just to know that I wasn't crazy. It was a real deal.
Wait,
and it's really
was
funny.
that?
Yes, it was, Jeff. That was the Star Wars special.
That's what yes. Star Wars special. I was gonna say that was when he was Obi-Wan and he was about to die.
Yep, and the helmets and hey, what's up? And yeah, they took the helmet off, Jeff. Remember I forget his name. I forget the guy's name now. What was the kid's name in there? Come on, Jeff. You're a family guy, you know.
Are you talking about Stewie?
No, that's the football head kid.
Chris? Chris is the boy that he has a crush on.
Yes.
It's Meg, Chris, Stewie, Brian the dog, Lois.
Well, someone doesn't watch it that much, Brittany. You sure know a lot about it.
I said I watch it. I said I watch Family Guy. John and I love watching Family Guy. It's funny. Yeah. Seth MacFarlane does a great job on that show. It's funny. Great job.
He does the episodes of two where he pretends he's Chris's wife. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, he does. I remember that. You still hear voices, Joe?
No. I mean, I hear your voice.
I think I need some
nothing
of that.
Extra. Nothing extra.
I need some of that.
Well, I'm going to try and stuff some in that Skeletor and see if I can get it back.
Okay.
Oh, my God. We'll put our money together for you.
Listen, when we left L.A., Justin and I, and we put all that stuff in the suitcase back in Florida, I thought we were done when we got off the airplane. And I was like, dude, when we got home and opened up the suitcase and it was all in there, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? You walk in there because you put lotion on. They're like, oh, bomb detection. Get over here. And they're like, we're sorry, sir. We have to swab your hands. It may be bomb residue or some hand lotions trigger it. Well, you get a whole bunch of shit
to me when I came here for my mom's birthday last month. When I was leaving, I was at LaGuardia. They literally made me take my clothes off in a room, and they swabbed my waist and my hands, like checking me for shit. And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking naked. Like, I don't have anything. Where do you think I have this bomb? Like,
that's ridiculous.
And the guy was like, oh, he's like, we just have to check. I'm like, all right, man.
Sir, can you please cough?
Yeah. Got fucking
So
flashbacks.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's why I don't. I mean, a lot of it, like I said, I think a lot of that's also what do they call it? False security or stage safety or whatever they call it. I think that there's a lot to that too. Who else got stopped? Jimmy, did you get stopped? No, who got stopped when we were leaving?
Sarah did.
well,
Sarah.
At least they knew the craziest motherfucker about to get on that plane. That's who they picked.
Yeah.
Poor Sarah.
Well, they took her and then they kept her until they boarded her on the plane first before any of us. Like, we didn't even know she was going to be on the plane. It was crazy.
Wow, poor Sarah.
Yeah,
Well, I can
freaking
say
alive.
for all the women out there, don't wear buckled jeans getting on the buckle brands with the blings on the butt. They'll stop you. I did. Every time I wear
Oh, they
those
stop
jeans,
'em?
they stop me and they like have to feel and do the little wand and see what's going on. Then they test my purse and my backpack and my laptop bag anytime I fly. So I don't wear them anymore. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's why I talked to
It's
Jimmy
absurd.
about taking his Prince Albert out before we flew. And on that note, we are at the top of the hour. We are 1 minute and 34, 1 hour and 34 seconds into the show. And I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I appreciate all the comments. I like that push back and forth in there. There was a lot of stuff we could react to and talk about. I really appreciate that. And we thank you guys for coming out. You secret watchers and you local watchers, everybody who's our friend. We appreciate all of you. Jeff, thanks for all your great comments. You made my night. Brian Love, great to see you. Everybody, thanks. We're going to sign out. You guys do not hang up your stuff because I got to move it over so that I can put it up live. Thanks, Matthew.